All right, welcome listeners, welcome viewers, welcome again to this week's edition of Business Talk with Fon Felix. Of course, you know that every Wednesday is Business Talk with Fon Felix, always live streaming on your handles from 11 a.m. every Wednesday. But unfortunately, today we are starting a bit earlier due to some serious personal engagement that I will be having. So that's why I decided to bring it up a bit earlier than usual. So sincere apologies to the inconveniences. This may actually affect some of our viewers and regular listeners. So welcome you again to this week's edition, where we hope to share essential tips for success for business for entrepreneurs, startups, and small business owners. This is, of course, our usual way of contributing to the business growth of the community. This is a way of also contributing our quota to the growth of the business community in the society. So I want to encourage as many that keep following us. Thank you for always engaging with us. Thank you for always following. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your share. Thank you for as many that have also subscribed to our YouTube handle so that you can get notifications of our regular update. But thank you for the feedback we have received from many people who keep also putting into practice what we discuss here. So like we said, do not just be listeners of what we said. Please ensure that you also do what's of it like the Holy Scripture will say as we share those essential tips. So please try as much as possible to put them into practice in your business, and also give us feedback wherever you need our assistance. Please, you can always give us feedback. Like we always say, please, in case you also need the audio recordings of the previous podcast or even this particular podcast, maybe you have mixed any of our podcasts, please, you can always reach out to us. I and my team will always ensure that the audio recordings of our weekly podcast is always available for those who need them. Or in case you need my job, you need my services, or other in graphics, in media, branding, installation, media setups, or for procurement, or you need me for live video productions, editings of live video events, event live streaming, please, you can always reach out to me on the number that will always be showing on the screen. We are not using the main screen today because of some technical issues we had last time. So, however, we'll try to see how we can build up the technical team. We are working on the main live streaming background we usually use. Well, for now, we shall roll with this. Yes, last time we discussed on how and when best to hire staffs or when to hire vendors for your team or for your business venture. And we laid the foundation that as your business is growing, as your business is expanding, it is expedient for you to employ people to work for you. So that we establish that as your business is growing, the business is expanding, that it is particularly important that you expand your team. That way, you help to attend to more customers, you help to attend to more of your client than when you want to do it alone. We said that business is not eat alone and die alone. So business, you should be able to expand. Even if you are not paying your team, you should be able to have team of vendors, team of freelancers, team of marketers, people you can partner with, or team of partners. So ensure that there's always a partnership in your business. Business is all about partnership. No one does a business alone. No one is an island in the field of business. So there is role and job specifications and role for everyone. So we have those who are into driving, we have those who are into who will be the passengers, we have those who will be the driver, we have those who will be the conductor, as the case are in Nigeria. So a driver will not want to function and also act as a conductor and also act as a loader and all of that. So let's try to maintain jobs. So hire a team when you feel that your business is expanding. I will also try to establish that for you to hire a team, ensure that you have the capital, that your capital base should be able to carry out. Because, of course, the people you are going to be hiring, it's of course legally advisable that you're also going to be paying them. Of course, we know, of course, the minimum wage in Nigeria is specified around 77,000. So for you to also want to employ people, ensure that your capital base, your profit margin have also increased so that you'll be able to pay the people you're hiring. So they don't just hire people and you end up not paying them. And we also establish the fact and we'll lay the warning and emphasis that you do not just hire a team because you just want to hire. So we have a lot of persons who just want to answer employers of labor who their profit margin and their capital base is not even saturated. It's not even enough to pay one person. They will go ahead to hire up to 5% just for the fact that they want to answer employers of labor. At the end of the day, they end up owing people, or the business end up going into extinction. So having established it fact that it is important for you to hire staff, it is important for you to expand your business team, it is important for you to build your team of vendors to help you deliver for maximum service delivery, like we discussed in the last time. You may not be able to capture all the areas for yourself in business. You may not be able to attend to all the customers and your clients. So that is why it's good and very important that you specify your rules, and also let there be division of labor. You understand me? So that you can concentrate in one thing while your members of the team concentrate on another. That will also help you in quality service delivery. It's also help you in timely service delivery, and of course, particularly in quality service time delivery. So most time people come to your outlet, they want your service because they know that they can actually get a faster delivery. So, and for this faster delivery to be possible, it means that some jobs roles may necessarily need to be delegated, regulated to other people so that you also can concentrate on all that. So having said that, we have established the ground that it is important that as a business person, we have established the ground that as an entrepreneur, we have established a point that as a small business owner, it is important that as your business, as your brand is growing, that you also begin to see how to employ more people or hire more people in order to retain your customer, in order to attend to more customers, in order to remain and retain in business, and in order to expand the team. So it's important. But however, today we are looking at what are the best time, when is the best time to disengage a staff, when it is the best time to disengage or a vendor. So when time is it best? So sometimes we have team of we have team of we have our team, people have employed, and we have team of vendors, and most of the times we are dissatisfied with their services, or we are no longer comfortable with the service they render to us. So when is the right time that we should hire and fire? Of course, in the other way, we have discussed the right time to hire. Now, today, we are discussing on the right time to fire. So you have the ability to hire and fire. It lies in it's your sole responsibility as a business owner. It's your sole responsibility as an entrepreneur. It's your sole responsibility, or as a small business owner, to hire staffs and also to fire them. So you should know when best to hire. You should know when best to fire. So do not hire by empathy, like we said in the other time, and do not fire by empathy. So do not hire somebody out of pity, and do not sack somebody out of pity. If someone has gone wrong, somebody has missed the mark, it's evident that you draw the attention of the person, and where discussions, all of those discussions is no longer yielding fruit, then it is the right time for you to disengage that person from that service. Remember that you're in business to make profit. Business will have two kinds of business people. We have those who make impact, we have those who make profit. So we say that for those who make impact are for the NGOs, those are the NGOs, those are into charity organizations. But for those of us in profit venture, why we enter business is to make profit. So we are not here to exchange words. We are not here to argue, but rather we want to see that our business is flourishing, as our business is also flourishing, that likewise our profit margin is also increasing. So when the performance of your staff is no longer high, of course, you employ people because their performance should be high. So when staff's performance are no longer high, when there's a misconduct, and of course, when there's an interest, sometimes you hire people, you find out that they are no longer interested in the business they are doing. That one is obvious, especially among small business owners. You hire sales boys, you hire sales girls. At a point, as you hire them, as the days goes by, you find out that this person seems not to be so much interested in the business anymore. So they just come for the fact that they are just working, and they are just working to see that at the end of the month they get their salary or whatever being paid into the account. So they are not satisfied anymore. They are not interested anymore into the business venture. They are not contributing anything to the business venture. They are not even bringing up and attending to the customers the way we have want them to attend to. So at this point in time, it's obvious that these persons are no longer, when a team member is no longer interested in the team. So it's obvious that this person needs to be disengaged. It's obvious that this person needs to be shown the way out. So do not use empathy. Do not out of pity. I say, let me pity this person and let me just manage. In business, we don't manage. In business, of course, you don't to even manage your personnel. Yes, we don't know about human resource management in business. But when you talk about the output, the performance is not something you should manage. If your performance is very low, the output is very low compared to what is expected, compared to the agreement that was reached, then of course you should show them the way out the same way you show them the way in. So the best time, of course, to disengage a vendor is possibly maybe at the end of the contract. Some vendors are hired per contract, some vendors are hired per project, some vendors are hired on contract basis. So if the contract has ended, then you should disengage that vendor. You understand me? Or if the vendor rather is no longer performing to the utmost satisfaction of your like, then of course you should disengage that vendor and look for another vendor that can deliver quality service delivery to you. So at the end of every project, you should be able to disengage everyone. You understand me? That is why you have agreement reach. So if this business is going to run for 6 months, so at the end of the 6 months, you should be able to disengage that person. Or breach of contract. Yes, of course, we know that every business is bounded by a contract. So in every business, you sign contract for that business. So if this vendor has breached that contract, if this vendor has gone contrary to the contract agreement, has gone contrary to the contract agreement, then of course you should call the vendor to order. And where such vendor is not leading to positive discussions, then of course it's obvious that you need to disengage this vendor so that it does not affect your business patronage from your client. It's very bad for you to wait for your customers to begin to complain about your personnel, for your customers to begin to complain about your sales boss or your sales girls or your sales rep before you begin to pay attention to their behavior. So as business owner, like as we about said, pay attention to the behavior of your staffs. Pay attention to the behavior of people that is working under you or working for you, so that you know whether they are contributing the expected quota, whether they are performing optimally to what is agreed. And where they are not performing optimally to what is agreed, of course, it's obvious that you need to lay them out. So the best time to fire is when these persons are no longer contributing their quota to the growth of the business. So the best time to fire is when these persons are no longer interested in the business. Like we have said, people come and at a point it seems they are beginning to lose interest in the business. They are beginning to lose focus in the business. Then you need to let them out. So the best time again for you to disengage your vendors or your staff is when the contract is over. So if they are hired per project, if they are hired on contract basis, once that contract is over, please ensure that you disengage them. Likewise, also for vendors. So when the contract you are hired, when the business contract you hire them for is over, please you let them be so that they will not affect the growth of your business. So what are the things you need to consider in disengaging members of your staff or your vendors? So let's look at a few things. Now, one of them is poor or inconsistent performance. Poor or inconsistent performance. So when a staff's performance is becoming so poor, it's obviously becoming so poor and inconsistent. And of course, like I always say, let there be a room for dialogue, because most times these staffs or these vendors may not know. They may be acting out of ignorance. But you as the owner of the business, you as the head, the team lead of the business, call them to order, point to them the rules and regulation, remind them of them again, the contract basis, remind them again of the contract agreement. Do you understand me? Remind them again of the terms and conditions of this business now. But where such discussions is no longer yielding profit, is no longer yielding positive response, then you should be able to disengage them. So disengage a staff or a vendor when there's an obvious poor or consistent performance from them. Of course, misconduct, where a staff has a mark of misconduct, or where a vendor has a mark of misconduct, or where a vendor, like I've talked about, breach of contract has breached the contract agreement of the business, then such person should be shown the way out. Lack of initiative or interest. Yes, I've said from beginning that most times you see that these staffs, they are no longer interested in the business. They are no longer creating, they are no longer creative. There are sometimes many of them comes very creative that you hire them. And in the long run, found out that they are no longer creative, they are no longer interested, they are no longer contributing any quarter. What they do is just the norm and the routine of coming to the office or coming to the shop, log the shop, attend to customers the way they like or when they feel like. I don't know, they are so reluctant and nonchalant at this time. So you begin to, it's also affecting the customer response from your team. It's also affecting your customer. It's also affecting your client. So what do? You lay them out. You understand me? You disengage them from that from that venture. Of course, impact on morale. Impact on morale is another reason why you should disengage a staff or a vendor. If a particular staff, his character is now affecting the morale of other team members. His character or his poor performance or his attitude or negligence is now affecting other team members or other members of the staff. Then you should be able to lay this staff off, lay this staff away, or disengage this vendor so that it does not begin to act or have negative effect, positive negative effects on your business. Of course, integrity issues. When the integrity of this vendor is not very obvious, when the integrity is at stake, when the integrity of this staff is at stake, maybe this person is found of stealing, is found of lying, is found of cheating, is found of doing negative things, you understand me, that does not contribute to the positive growth of the business, then of course you should be able to disengage this person out of the business, you should be able to disengage this person out from the team. So things to do, particularly this, we have to know that as employers of labor, as business owners, as an entrepreneurs, so there are legalities involved in employment. The same way there are also legalities involved in disengagement. So you don't just hire people and fire them anyhow. Do you understand me? Especially when there are legal terms that was signed. So you should be able to view and consider what are the legalities involved before you begin to disengage your staff's team. Know this, there are some staffs that you can disengage and it has negative effect in your business. There are people who you employ, it has positive effect on your business. There are people that your business might not be doing well. Once they come into the business venture, you see that your business begin to experience a total growth, a total revolution, a total revival. Do you understand me? The same way that there are people you can as well hire that by the time they step their feet into the venture, by the time this vendor comes and becomes a member of the team, it also affects the business aspects of your business. It begins to affect your productivity. It begins to affect your quality delivery. It begins to affect your timely delivery. It begins to affect your output in general terms. So what are the things that you must do before you lay them out? Now, it's obvious that you observe that this person is no longer performing, but you now have it as a wish to lay this person off. So what are the things you should do? One, of course, like we said, is provide feedback and opportunities for improvement. Provide feedback. Sometimes these people can be acting out of other burdens from their house or personal issues. Sit them down and talk to them. Try to improve their morale. Try to give them morale. Most times they could be discouraged. Many times you know how the economy could be. Do you understand me? No amount of money you're paying somebody now that is enough for the person. So many times these people can be demoralized. These people can have some issues they are undergoing. These people can have personal issues they are undergoing that may actually affect the running of the business. So what do? You sit them down, talk to them. Do you understand me? Provide feedback, hear from them, know what actually is their problem, especially when you feel that this person was not like this when this person started this job role or this vendor started supplying with you. So what actually happened? What is the problem? So let's get feedback. Do you understand me? Then provide opportunities for improvement. So having heard this feedback, if it's something that you know that it can solve, maybe this person needs help. Sometimes people need counseling. Sometimes people need somebody to talk to them, somebody to encourage them. Then where it's possible that you can come in, please do not disengage this person. Give feedback and encourage the person and see and watch and see if this person will bounce back to their utmost service delivery. Then document everything. Many a times as you're hiring people, their documents issued to them as in terms of employment letter and in terms of vendorship agreement or whatever. Please, as you're disengaging them, please let there also be legal document. Please document it. Do you understand me? So you can give them letter of disengagement. Do you understand me? So issue them letter of disengagement and have them sign their own copies and have them sign their own column, showing that they are no longer working with you. so that they don't go out there to cause trouble. And people who have known them to be working with you will hold you responsible for their actions. You understand? So don't just hire and fire ignorantly. As you're hiring people legally, please fire them legally. Don't just shout and yell and pull out and say you are no longer working with me and all of that. Those people can go having details of your business, having being in custody of some of your sensitive documents as a business, can use it, other defraud people somewhere. And of course, the law will come against you. And the law will not listen that this person has been fired. And of course, it will be said, where is the letter of disengagement given to this person, where this person signed that is no longer with it. And of course, as you do that, you can document it and also publish it and let members of your customers know that this person is no longer working with your team. Then, of course, like we say, ensure legal compliance. So ensure that there's legal compliance. You understand? If you have a legal team, you have a lawyer who is in charge of your human resource, who does your employment, please also let the person know that this person is no longer working with you and this person can be disengaged officially and legally. So having said that, we have established the fact that as you have the power to hire people, you also have the power to hire. As you have the power to hire people, rather, you also have the power to fire them or disengage them. So the same way you have a way of engaging your new team, is the same way you have the power to disengage them. But before you disengage, please ensure that you find out what actually is the problem. And we say that, please, when a staff is no longer performing for your team, your staff is no longer performing, please disengage this staff. When a vendor is no longer meeting up to delivery responsibility, please disengage these staffs and look for a reliable vendor and look for a reliable staff that can meet up with your business standard. Having said that, this is where we're going to be drawing the curtain for a close in this week's edition. Remember, today's discussion is when best to disengage your staffs or vendors, when best to disengage your staffs or vendors from your team. Thank you and hope to see you by next time. Please, in the meantime, remember to comment, like, share, tag your friends, share to people. And of course, if you're following us on YouTube, remember to subscribe to our Bulletin so that you can get notifications of our subsequent editions and subsequent podcasts. Thank you and see you again. Enjoy success in your business for today.